Okay, music lovers, as we continue on my passion for music and all those out there who have a passion for music, um, I'm going to do this video dedicated to another band that, as we did the AC/DC earlier, not the greatest band because you can't really pick who the greatest rock band was of all times. So I put them in elite status in a group all their own, and you know the things that make up a great rock band, certain elements. This band was from Boston, Massachusetts. They have withstood the test of time. They started out around 1972 or 3, I believe, and their first 4 albums were outstanding. When I was a teenager, that's what I grew up listening to, being from this area. And this band also deserves to be one of the elite, one of the greatest bands of all times. And this band is Aerosmith. Unlike AC/DC, Aerosmith changed their style a little bit. Maybe in the 80s, they got into a little bit of mainstream music, but it was still okay. I mean, it caught the masses' attention. They changed their style. Unlike AC/DC, who kept their roots and kept their style, Aerosmith belongs in the elite group also because they were able to change their style and still maintain good music. Now, my generation, we grew up with the first 4 albums, their debut album, Get Your Wings, Toys in the Attic, and Rocks. No nonsense hard rock, first 4 albums were outstanding. Then we got into Permanent Vacation and Pump and Night in the Ruts, and their style changed a little bit, but the music was still okay. The music was still good. So Aerosmith, definitely another elite rock group, definitely one of the greatest rock groups of all times. And as I said, if they would have, the only reason why I would put AC/DC higher than Aerosmith is because AC/DC stayed true to their roots. They didn't change their path. They didn't have to. They stuck to what they loved doing most, and that was just playing no-nonsense rock and roll. Aerosmith, if they would have maintained a consistent, like their first 4 albums, they would have been higher than AC/DC, but because they changed their style a little bit in the 80s, I put AC/DC a little bit higher than Aerosmith, but Aerosmith still an elite, one of the greatest rock bands of all times. And if you have any comments, go ahead, because remember, I don't get into the biographies. I don't get into the disputes with Steven Tyler and Joe Perry and with their agents. I just go for the music itself. So, Aerosmith, one of the greatest rock bands of all times. Were they better than AC/DC? No. But the first 4 albums that they came out with, if they would have kept that, staying to their roots, staying to the basic hard rock like AC/DC did, yes, they probably, in my opinion, would have been better than AC/DC. But still, Aerosmith belongs in the elite group of the greatest rock bands of all times. Thank you. One of my favorite albums, of course, the first 4 were outstanding. When I heard when I heard Toys in the Attic and I heard Adam's Apple, No More, No More, Uncle Salty, I was like, wow. When I Adam's Apple and No More, No More, Sick as a Dog, outstanding songs. I mean, I was like, wow, blew me away. Get Your Wings was a great album. Lord of the Thighs, Woman of the World, Spaced. Never cared for Aerosmith's mainstream media music. Train Kept a Rollin', Dream On, Walk This Way. Didn't care for them. That's why, friends, we have to go deeper into the artist. Sometimes the mainstream media puts out songs that you can't judge the band by those songs. You gotta check them out. And most of us music connoisseurs, music lovers, we like to say, well, I'm gonna check this band out. So check out Aerosmith, especially their first 4 albums. Excellent, outstanding. Their debut album, outstanding, excellent. Like I says, if they would have maintained that velocity of their first 4 albums, yeah, they would have been above AC/DC, but because they changed their style a little bit, I don't know, I guess you call it glam rock. Call it what you want, my friends. Maybe a style of glam rock, a little bit of Kiss, a little bit of, hair bandish. But they were still good, and they still deserve to be as one of the greatest rock bands of all times.